So I wanted to tell everybody this story about my koi fish. It's kind of a lengthy story, so I'll probably put this on YouTube, but anyway, it's a pretty funny story. So I had this beautiful mid-century modern house in Sherman Oaks, and in the backyard we had a waterfall and a koi pond, and we had dogs that I didn't know at the time were protecting the koi fish. So as it turns out, one of the dogs got cancer, and then very shortly after that, the other one fell to cancer, and we had to put him down. And long story, but it turns out when there was no dogs, the raccoons would start coming. And I had known the dogs to tree the raccoons before in the past, but I didn't really know why the raccoons were coming. They heard the waterfall and they wanted water or fish. And anyway, so fast forward, rewind back to my koi. So I started collecting koi fish, babies, small, young, and just raising them, and having some serious Zen moments with my fish at the koi pond, and just watching them grow up. This went up for years, and we had heard stories of a big blue heron that would come down and steal fish out of the koi pond, but I'd never seen it. My wife saw it one time, and anyway, there's an inherent dangers when you have a koi pond, right? So anyway, I raised these fish in my pond, and there was a bunch of them, probably 20 of them, and they were all 16 to 18 to 20 inches, and they were big, beautiful fish. I loved them so much. My son used to love to go out and throw him the fish food and watch him on the little bridge when he was a baby, Cash, and it was great. Anyway, so fast forward to after the dogs died. I woke up one morning and I went outside to feed the fish, and I noticed a half-eaten carcass on the ground by the pond, by the pool. And I was so bummed. I'm like, oh my God, what ate my fish? Or maybe it was that heron. And I was so depressed for like days. And then like a week later, another fish, half eaten, I found. And then, so I then realized that it was the raccoons, and I saw one night, because now I'm being cautious of my fish, protect my fish. And I saw a raccoon in the yard one night, chased him away, and so I started doing all kinds of research. How in the hell am I going to protect my fish? I can't sit out there every single night and, guard my fish with a BB gun or something, and it's illegal to catch or trap raccoons in California. So I come to the conclusion that I am kind of screwed. So what I did was I got this motion sensor, and it was before we were gonna leave on like a 4 or 5 day trip, and I got this motion sensor alarm, and I went over and I screwed it to the tree right next to the pond, so that if it detected motion, it would scream this loud siren. I figured that would for sure chase the raccoons away. And then we got back from our little trip, and I'm just pulling up to the shop here, and we got back from our little trip, and those little fuckers, they had come, ate more fish. They don't even eat the whole fish. That's what really pisses me off. They eat part of the fish and then they leave the fish there. So they ate more fish, and they took the motion sensor, and it probably really scared them and pissed them off because they ripped it off the tree, broke it, and threw it in the water and disabled it. And then I can only imagine proceeded to snack on all the fish they wanted. As painful as that was, I was at a total loss about the fish and how I was going to protect them. I did sit out there one night with my BB gun and rocks, and I sat out there for hours one night, and I was just trying to protect the fish, and I did chase some raccoons off with some rocks. I couldn't shoot them, but I had just chased them off with rocks. And then shortly thereafter, so we had this 1956 Edward Fickett mid-century modern house, which is very much like an Eichler, if anybody's familiar with those. So the back of the house was all glass, floor to ceiling glass walls. So when you were in the house, it really felt like the backyard was part of the house because it was just right there. At any rate, so our whole bedroom wall was all glass. So one night I hear some noises, some splashing around the pool, and to my complete disbelief, I opened up the curtain, and I'm not even joking when I say this because it sounds so fucking ridiculous, but it's absolutely true. There were 3 raccoons swimming in the pool. There were 2 more raccoons eating one fish in the corner by the pool. And there was a third, maybe a third and a fourth, I can't remember right now, inside the pond getting more fish in the koi pond. I was in utter disbelief because I just could not even believe that they were having a fucking pool party in my backyard, eating my fish. And mind you, these are the fish that I raised and babied to grow up as a big fish. And I'm just stupefied at this point because the raccoons won the battle. They won. I was at a total loss. By this point, after the pool party, I had probably 3 or 4 koi left. And this was going on months and months of battle of losing my fish to these raccoons. And I tell you, I hated raccoons for so long after that. But I after the pool party, I gave up. There was absolutely nothing I could do to protect the fish. And I figured there was more room in the pond. A couple of them wound up surviving before we wound up leaving that house, but it was a nightmare. And to this day, I still think about that crazy ass pool party they had. I can only imagine they probably told all their friends. They're like, oh yeah, we know where to get plenty of food, and there's a swimming pool, so let's go have a party. And there was 6 raccoons in my yard eating my fish. Anyway, that's my koi fish story. I haven't had a pond since. I haven't had a raccoon. That's actually not true. I did have a raccoon at my 2 shops ago. There was a family of raccoons that came down, and that's what kind of turned me back into liking raccoons because they're so damn cute. But they will eat your fish like there's no tomorrow. But they would come down, it was a family, and they would sneak up behind me while I was working in the driveway at the shop, and they would kind of like, one of them would tap on me on my back foot area, ankle, and they wanted dog food, so I would turn around and I'd feed them because they won the battle before, and then it turns out they're super cute and I love them so much. But I hated them back then with the fish. Anyway, that's my koi store. 10 minutes. Not bad.